Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I'd take another look at the Eurofighter Typhoon that has been in service for quite some time. You never know, its successor might be in the Irish skies someday. But before I continue, I'd like to ask that you like, comment and subscribe to my channel. Now, the Eurofighter Typhoon has been in service for quite some time now, and it has quite an excellent track record, you must admit. Now, the Eurofighter Typhoon is blindly fast in that it can go 2,500 kilometers per hour. So now the manufacturers of the Eurojet are the Eurofighter GmbH, which is a consortium between British Aerospace and the Alena Armaki, and DASA and Airbus. So there's quite a number of majors involved in the production of this particular aircraft. Now, like I said, I did this aircraft before, and I thought it was quite interesting in relation to the potential use for Ireland, but it has gone on a little bit long in the tooth at this stage, and I'm not sure that there's any particular idea of what the successor of this aircraft is going to be like. So I'm not so sure about the second-hand market. I'm not sure the Irish Air Corps would be interested in any second-hand equipment whatsoever. And I would imagine that the Eurofighter is a step too far for the Air Corps. It'll be years before the Air Corps becomes an Air Force, and at that stage, the Typhoon will be long gone. Like I say, I don't know what the successor to the aircraft is. Now, the Typhoon was introduced, actually, was way back in 2003, and its first flight was even way earlier than that. It was 1994. So you can see that it has been in service for quite some time. Now, it was originally designed to be an interdictor aircraft to get out there real fast and intercept any bogies, as it were, coming in from the east. And that was the general idea of it. And it has significant armaments on board so that it could tackle most jobs that it was required to do so. Like I say, it is getting on a bit, but it's a lovely looking aircraft, and still in service with a number of air forces throughout certainly in Europe. The RAF being one notable air force that it employs the use of the Typhoon. A lot to be said for it. The canard wing is very interesting in the forward canard wing. It's very European. The Saab Gripen also utilizes the same concept. And the delta wing, of course, gives a good lift and good speed. So it's a nice combination between the two. And of course, the ameliorating effect between the two would be the canard. So over and all, it's a proven design. And I'm not sure it's ever actually seen actual combat before. And I would imagine it'd have some issues coming up with some of the more let's say fourth plus generation fighters. Certainly the fifth generation fighters would have a huge problem with. Like I say, to see that in Ireland would be nice, but I don't see it. I mean, there's just no way. Air Corps is way too small, and if they were to start with a jet aircraft, they would presumably start with something like the Saab Gripen, the JAS-39 Gripen from Sweden. That would be far more realistic re-entry level for jet aircraft. They did have aircraft back in the 60s that were jet powered. The Fuga Magister was one, and if I remember, the de Havilland Vampire was the other one. And they were great sights, lovely sounds going by in the air. Has been decades since we've seen a jet in the Irish skies. I wouldn't wonder if we will see jets in the skies with the current prevailing considerations, as it were, or the sentiments, should I say, in the country. Very much a pacifist country, and it doesn't like to be seen to be in any way overtly demonstrative with any kind of weaponry. So kudos to the country for that. I support that. And at the same time, my motto really has come down to neutrality through strength. And I like to think that being neutral doesn't mean that you have to be weak. So a fighter jet like the Eurofighter would be too much, like I say, for the Irish Air Corps. I'd imagine that they'd have a huge problem in handling that. It would take them a long time before they could ramp up their expertise in jet aircraft. So that, like I say, the twin-engine aircraft like the Eurofighter would be a step too far. The other options would be for the Irish Air Corps to be looking at the Dassault Rafale, if I say that correctly. That's also a twin-engine aircraft, but it's more manageable, a little more in size, and I think it's more modern and a more modern aircraft. But getting back to the Eurofighter, it's certainly a beautiful designed aircraft, and like I say, it's blindingly fast, huge, one of the fastest aircraft for its category. And like I say, its armaments are nothing to be lacking on the armament side. It's in service with a number of countries, like I say, RAF being one, and the other one is the Luftwaffe in Germany. Now, I would like to see something similar to this aircraft to be deployed by the Air Corps in the future. But like I say, it won't be this particular aircraft because it is aging. And while there are deals to be had on the second-hand market, and I do understand that there's a number of Typhoons on the market in the second-hand market that could be accessible to the Irish Air Corps, I don't see the government here investing in any military hardware that is not top grade, top notch, brand new, and with all the support available. So that would exclude, in my estimation, that would exclude the Typhoon here. Now, what's your thoughts about the Typhoon? Do you know whether the successor is on the horizon? Number one, would you think that the Irish government should take a look at the second-hand market for these particular aircraft? Should the Irish government even invest in jet aircraft at all? These are pressing questions of the day. Maybe you can help answer those questions. Now, just looking back at the video that I did recently, I did the Eurofighter, and it got quite a lot of attention, and rightly so. It is a beautiful aircraft. The only thing is now I'm redoing my videos that I've done in the past, so you can expect to see Saab Gripens, Dassaults, and so on coming back into my channel. And the reason being is I was informed that my sound quality was dismal, to say the least. And when I went back to listen to it on headphones, which I hadn't done before, I found out that the sound quality was dire. So much so that I'm actually going to take down the videos that I've done in the past, like the previous Eurofighter Typhoon video that I did, and I'll replace it with this one. So I'll just go through my entire list, as it were, my entire video list, and I will probably be doing the Gripen next, the Saab Gripen. But hopefully, now that I have the sound quality issues resolved, that will mean that it'll more enjoyable for those out there, especially people listening with ear aids and having to use headphones. Because, like I say, my apologies to those who were affected in the past with the sound quality. It wasn't good at all. My channel is growing steadily. I'm looking at hopefully monetizing sometime, maybe next month or two, given the current trajectory of my subscribers and hours watched and so forth. So I'll be able to give you better, more in-depth and more engaging and more immersive content once I get my site monetized. It'll give me options that I don't currently enjoy right now with regards to the quality of my videos. Now, there really is nothing else to say about the Eurofighter. It is, like I say, has gotten on along in the years. While it still looks like a very modern aircraft, give them full credit for their design. Way back in 1993, if you can believe that, that was the first flight. I mean, that's incredible when you think about 30 years ago, more. That's incredible. And yet, you look at that aircraft today, and you would think it was just off the drawing boards. But no question, it's an aging airframe. And, like I say, I don't know what the future holds for this particular aircraft, or whether there's a successor to it or not. Remains to be seen. But there is a role for high-speed interdictive aircraft, interceptors. There's no question, and this has served us well in Europe for the last 30 years. And like I say, very unlikely we'll see that in Ireland at any time soon. And whether the successor is interested in visiting our shores and in flying in our skies in the 2030s, that remains to be seen. All right, well, listen, I want to say thanks for joining me here today, and I really appreciate you stopping by, as they say, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. So until then, bye for now.